And it's
Jenna
actually,
juice. Oh my god.
yeah, and it's these little sparkling beverages that are like, pre-processed gin, not like the fancier stuff. It's good enough.
Right.
And then one's like a melon flavor or a passion fruit flavor or just
Right.
different things like that.
Yeah.
So it's funny.
I was
I'm like, I
watching.
had to get
I was watching. I was watching the Late Show with Colbert,
that.
and he's talking about Cinco de Mayo, and they give him a White Claw, and he says, "Well, it's time to claw it up," and he starts drinking it, and you see it kind of kicks him. He kind of got a little twitch in his. He's like, "Oh, that's he's like a bourbon man," and
From a white. Oh, okay.
he's like a bourbon guy. Hey, what's up, Red Solo?
Yeah.
And Ross Kopik 50, welcome. Yeah, and he said, "Are they a sir? Are they that was very are they a sponsor? Yes, refreshing, very refreshing." I'm like, yeah, right, buddy. You're not selling anybody. Oh yeah, man, this is gonna be exciting. I've been waiting. I mean, we've been waiting a long time for this, right? It's been a while.
It's longer than we should have.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. We found out about marathon first, but I think we've beaten that horse. It's long dead. As far as marathon talk, I'm kind of done with the marathon talk for now until we get anything closer to a beta or something where we can actually try it out. So let's see. Yeah, 1080 is the best I can get, guys. I thought I could get a 4K. I pulled up PlayStation too, and they're only streaming it in 1082. That might be the limitations of Bungie. They may be only streaming in 1080, so obviously they can't play anything in higher than that if it's only 1080. So Red Solo Cup, I'm excited. Thanks for streaming this, Todd. Hey, no problem, man. I don't normally do this stuff. I kind of like hide in a corner in the dark spaces somewhere and kind of analyze every little part I watch. But we're going to get our talking out of the way here because in 20 minutes or 25 or 30, usually because they go 10-minute countdown, right? They make you sit there and look at stuff on the screen. So as soon as that live stream goes, I'm muting all our mics, Kingsley, and we're just going to watch it. And then I've got clients to take care of after this, but I'm going to stick around for at least half an hour and let's talk it out and see what people have thought. And I just thought it'd be kind of fun to hang out today, kind of different. So yes, that is what I have planned for today. Yeah, His Royal Highness Prince Risen is wild to know episodes are over. How do you feel they went? I think they were a cool concept, but their stories weren't the strongest. What do you think, Kingsley? You want to entertain that question?
I thought the stories were fine.
Yeah.
It depends on what people mean by strongest. Did they like it, or was there not enough content? Because I could see two different definitions, but I'll answer both just in case.
Yeah.
I think that all three stories were interesting to me, but there could have been more, especially on the one with the Meyer Sundaresh. It just kind of ended without having more. They shouldn't have put the cliffhanger-ish type thing right there.
Yeah.
As far as calling them episodes, I don't even really think it was anything interesting or a cool concept. It was just they had to do 3 drops because that's all they could fit in last year. This year they're only doing 2 drops, so whatever they call it, it's what we're gonna get.
Yeah, and in fact, no, go ahead.
We're only having 2 drops now. I'm almost more worried about the story. No matter how cool it's gonna be, will there be enough to keep us interested for 6 months before there's another big drop?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Welcome, Scarlet Shadow 16. Good morning, and he said good morning to you as well, Kingsley, from our Twitch chat.
Good morning, everyone.
To answer your question, Risen is hey Kazas. I think the concept was there. I think they oversold it. I think they just said it. I think they just should have said it was just another season, because I didn't see really any difference between that and like a seasonal event. I understand what the one thing that did separate them is the fact that they were open and shut cases for every episode, right? That's the one big difference, right? It doesn't, with seasonal stuff, sometimes the story kind of migrates into the next season. But with episodes, it was cut and dry. We played, Maya Sundaresh. We went against her in Echoes. Closed case, well, kinda. She kind of just goes away into the radiolarian fluid, but I guess that's an end, if you can call it that. And then and then probably the one I is most forgetful to me is, of course, Revenant. I'm trying to remember who the baddie was there. I think it was the Scorn leader, right? That hung out with Prince Aldrin when he was taken.
Yep.
So, I mean, I thought probably the thing that stood out for me for Echoes was probably the Choir of One. You know, the exotic.
Well, he's talking story, but of course you're talking about.
That's story wise. I mean, Echoes. I was not impressed with the story in Echoes. It was just like, hey, go play the event. I'm like, no, I want some story. Give me some dialogue. Give me something to do here. It was just literally playing the event, collecting these things to put in our terrariums up at the up our main area, and then that was kind of it. The story was kind of weak, and then Revenant, it just the potions and tonics just didn't catch my enthusiasm at all. But of course, as we all know, Bungie likes to end with a banger, and a Heresy was very good. It was very nice to go back and play Court of Oryx again. It was fun to go back into the, back and play all the areas of the Nether, which was basically King's Fall. We started. I mean, I still remember when I first got launched into when Cade was trying to get you in Eris's ship, trying to get you to the Dreadnought. Yeah, that was fun.
So also when you mentioned things blending together, it's not even a spoiler, although I'm not going to give the name, but this whole year is all going to be blended together. It's going to have one main theme.
It is.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see what then I guess today after the stream, right? It's the new event, the new 9 event. And then
are you? And then some dungeons.
And then we'll have but isn't it like segments of a dungeon? Isn't it like dungeon encounters? It's not the whole dungeon, is it?
No.
It
is, but there are 3 different modes. There's going to be an easy mode, a regular mode, and a harder mode. What they're doing is they're making the easier mode easier for people that want to learn a dungeon. You could potentially go in solo a lot easier. So that's cool and all.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say no one should be interested in it, but this is not really anything like big in my opinion.
I hear you, man. Hey Zarek, what's up, man? Also,
funny enough, I'm more excited about the PvP event on Friday.
That's what I was going to mention. That's coming later. Guy. Yeah, but it's a fun PvP event. It's not anything where it's not going to be sweaty. It's just going to be everyone's going to be laughing their ass off when they're playing it. Especially if we get a bunch of people.
On Friday, right?
I think so.
We still need to see if we want to set up a time.
Yeah, we still need to put something together on that. But I'm sure we can. I'm sure people will jump in and get it done. MC Squared, how you doing, man? Welcome. Yes, Red Solo Cup says the tonics and potions were super confusing. That's what did it for me, man. You got to give me a clear path. Tell me what to do. I'd say this all the time. Tell me what to do. Tell me what I'm going to get for it, and I'll go do it. Make it simple and easy for me to figure out. Now, story and the way they're going to talk about going into Edge of Fate here, it's going to be more open. What they said, it's going to be more open world, right, than it is now. So you'll actually not have to play everything in order. You can actually jump into separate missions that float around the world. At least that's what I got from their developer insight stuff.
Yeah.
Wesley Scarlet Shadow said, I think we'll probably see her in a dungeon or something at some point. I don't know. We'll see. You guys should watch the teaser trailer on stream if you haven't yet. Well, yeah, it's like, what, 13 seconds long? The teaser trailer?
Yeah, I saw that. I wasn't very impressed, unless there's another new one that just came out.
No, it's just the 13-minute one.
I don't even consider that a teaser. That was like a nothing.
I mean, we got 14 minutes here. I could pull it up. This is PlayStation's.
What was your comment in reference to, like, will we see her? See who?
I think he's talking about. Is he talking about the emissary? The emissaries that you're talking about, Scarlet Shadow? Yeah. Let me.
I'm not on that Twitch channel. I'm only in the Discord right now.
I'm gonna look up Edge of Fate trailer teaser. Yeah, go and play it. It's super short.
Is there a new one that came out since yesterday?
No, this is it right here. I can just put it on loop.
Oh, that one's good. I thought they were, but that didn't come out yesterday, did it?
Yeah.
It did?
Oh no, this is 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
There's another teaser trailer.
No, there was another one that came out yesterday. If you see that one is nothing.
No, this is the one I just saw. Is there another one?
Well, you said this came out 2 weeks ago. There is another one that came out
Yeah, I'll look it up here.
just yesterday or the day before, but it's like literally nothing.
I'll look it up.
I'll find the one from yesterday and send you a link.
Okay.
Yeah, this that you're playing right now, I consider a teaser trailer,
Yeah.
but this other one, I don't.
This is the
really
one I saw
consider
this morning. I thought this was the one they had shown.
Maybe that's what he's talking about too, but this didn't technically come out yesterday. This came out a while ago, and then the newest one, if that's what people are talking about, there's another one that came out.
I mean, this is, I like that helmet on that Warlock. It's pretty cool. Yeah, we'll loop it again. I mean, this that's pretty cool. That station looks pretty cool. And of course, that we're warping into these other areas of the solar system. And of course, look at that helmet, man. That's just badass right there. I love it.
I am sending you a link if you want to pull up on Twitter.
Yeah,
don't worry about it if it's too complicated, but this is the one that's just stupid, in my opinion. It was like nothing.
Oh, this was on Twitter? Okay.
Well, I don't know where the source is, but I can just find it on Twitter right now. And then if you click on the source,
okay. I got you. All right. Let's open it up.
You can make that full screen and then just play it again. Okay, so look, it's only like a few seconds long.
Where's the volume? That's it?
There is no step volume. That's it. This is literally it.
Oh, wow.
See, it's a nothing.
You said it was nothing. I was like, okay. Yeah, that's not really showing much, is it? The feet. Now I see what you mean. Scarlet Shadow. The feet. Let's don't bring up feet, okay? It's a sore subject. Sore subject. That's for sure. When I was going back, I was filling up my soundboard with all of like different cuts from past shows and stuff. In fact, last night when we were playing Iron Banner, I played a little montage of like our celebration of our 3rd year, I think, or something. I think Hazel was still in it and stuff, but it was pretty cool. I didn't play the whole thing, but it was kind of neat, reminiscent about all that. No, it doesn't.
So Prince is no, it's Rite of the Nine comes out today.
It's been
so
leaked.
That's part of the confusion. But Rite of the Nine is the stuff we already had. It's just a small content drop where they had different modes of dungeons.
Right.
But and the PvP stuff that comes out Friday. But Edge of Fate, which is the name of the new thing that everyone was calling Frontiers, but that was just their code name. That I'm sure they'll announce July 15th. Everyone's been speculating on it for a long time because it's a Tuesday, and that's when the season pass bar ends. So
I did want to mention those of you in the Twitch channel, you can get the drop for watching 15 minutes of the reveal. I do have the Bungie app or the Bungie extension on my Twitch channel, so you should get the drop. If you have any questions, just go to your icon and drop down to what was it? Drops and rewards, and you'll see the bar filling up. And if it doesn't do that, then you might want to have a side channel on the side. But I'm 99% sure you can get the drop by watching on my Twitch channel here today for that 15 minutes. So okay. All right. So yeah, I mean, I'm just pumped, man. You know, we're just hungry for some good content, you know. And I want to know who the new baddie is. I want to know who we're gonna fight. Yeah, it was leaked. Prince Risen is PlayStation leaked out a bunch of info yesterday, July 15th. Yeah. See,
July 15th. They've told us all along in the season pass bar too.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Sorry, MC, man. That's why I got it live in the Discord as well. If you want to, I'm sharing my screen from YouTube, and you can enlarge that too if you don't want to look at our ugly mugs and watch it at work from our Discord community. 8 minutes. That means we're probably gonna have another 10 on top of that because Bungie likes to put the little countdown clock.
We have a countdown clock right now. You think they're going to do another one?
I think they'll do another one. We'll see. Yeah. What what's really nice is PlayStation actually is streaming this too at the same time. It's multi-streaming through PlayStation account as well. Whoa, 2027. Is that because you're going on your mission, Riznez?
Yeah, that's why.
Oh man, 2027.
Customarily, it's 99% of the time they're 2 years long.
Well, think of it this way, Prince Riznez. You're gonna miss. You're gonna miss. I don't know if everyone heard the game everyone's been hyping this year has been delayed another year. Grand Theft Auto 6 delayed till May of 2026. So yeah, that will not be out until next summer. So yeah, we're just waiting on the countdown clock. Get things going here. I'm as excited as you guys are, and just know that we're going to mute our mics when the reveal comes up. We're not going to be talking over this stuff. I hate it when people talk over reveal events. So the nice thing is we got a nice little comfortable audience here. We can talk afterwards if you guys want to go over what you saw. You know, we don't have a chat that's just on fire where people are scrolling where you can't even hear or see. You can't even be seen in the chat. Like Astercross right now, I think he has like 3,000 or 4,000 people watching. There's no way you can even chat. It's ridiculous. Yeah, happy to hang out with you too, MC. I think they are gonna be a live show. I think we start right at okay. I'm ready. We got 6 minutes, about 6.5 minutes left, and we will see what is going on. Like I said, I'm excited. We've been talking about this for quite a while. It's nice to see it's finally here. Did you guys hear about Dr. Lupo?
No.
He admitted to cheating. He was doing a chess tournament. He was using an engine, a chess engine, to basically formulate all his possible moves. And he got caught, I guess, in a tournament. And he admitted it. I mean, it's on me. I did cheat. But yeah, I was a little disappointed in that. Always looked up to that guy. Will your heroes fall? It's just unfortunate. Got my noise gate on today, so if I cut out, let me know. I didn't want people to hear my fan and anything else going on, like my dog itching himself behind me. Sorry, I keep fidgeting. At least you'll miss it if it flops. True, I hope it doesn't. Coming back to a lot of new good Destiny content would be wonderful. Yeah, man, definitely. Hopefully you'll keep listening, man, wherever your mission is. You know what?
They're not allowed to.
You're not allowed to listen to podcasts? Oh,
man. Very limited church-approved stuff.
Oh, it's too bad.
It's like going on a sabbatical, like kind of living like as a monk, not like the way they do, but like it's a very like limited thing.
Really?
Yeah, can't be in Discord, I mean, yeah, like not there's exceptions where things will be allowed, but you're not even supposed to watch like Disney movies for the most part. Like very, very limited, just like church approved things. Sometimes little things here and there will get approved, and different areas have a little bit different restrictions, but the point is to be focused on the work. Okay. And so I guess the idea is if you're watching other stuff, even if it's uplifting stuff, you could get like too into that or something, but
no distractions digitally.
Yeah,
I get it.
Well, you know, when like Dalai Lama or like monks and stuff, would they live that way too? It's actually more extreme than even Mormon missionaries do. I mean, they cut from everything. They're just kind of sitting there and, you know,
yeah,
not just sitting there, but you know what I mean? Like, gotcha. I would say that's even more strict.
Yeah, having that cheater tag attached to you online gaming is almost impossible to recover from. Yeah, I don't think I think he just imploded. I don't see his streaming. I don't see his career going anywhere. I mean, the one thing I love about streaming is being real, is being authentic. And when people cheat, especially in gaming, man, that veil is lifted, and then it's just really hard to not see that person in the same way, you know? It's just too bad. Yeah, it's disappointing about Lupo. I remember listening to him back in Crucible Radio. I did too, man. I still have an episode of Crucible Radio that I saved, and I play it back every now and then because it had Cammy Cakes on there, and I love his gameplay. I've actually been in his lobbies before because he lives pretty close to me, and or at least he used to. And the guy is just, his brain is on all the time. It's amazing how much he can analyze. Yeah, you can't hide from the truth, especially nowadays. I mean, there were already articles written about him just from what, I think it was 2 days ago that he was caught. There's articles already written about him. It's just too bad. It really is. Just the way it is, I guess. I mean, especially in chess of all things. Yeah, I was watching a video this morning. I think it was from Asmongold. And he says, you know, people just, it's an ego thing. It's an ego trip. People think they're very intelligent if they play, you know, high level chess. I play chess, but I'm no way near high level. I'm probably a little above novice. But I haven't played in forever. I can't get anybody around here to play chess with me, so I know I can do it electronically. Dude, there's just so much going on. So much for I mean, you guys know this. There's so much vying for your attention these days. It's hard to focus on any one thing. And especially if you have ADHD. If you have ADHD, it's like you have to really, really strive to focus on any one thing without anything distracting you. It's really tough. It's the one thing, now that I'm aware of what I have, now I see how bad it really was. So.
Yeah, so it's when people, it's true that it can be the most overdiagnosed and the least and the most underdiagnosed, depending. Like kids will sometimes get overdiagnosed with ADHD,
yeah,
but adults are usually underdiagnosed. And also my wife, she kind of knew she had it her whole life, but it wasn't until like age 35 really a doctor believed her. And
my son,
no, it's probably 33, but it's hard to get diagnosed too. And I get it. Like doctors don't want to. Sometimes you just really got to go to like a psychiatrist if you want to pass the line for a general doctor who doesn't want to diagnose you with it or whatever. But
exactly. Yep. Exactly.
But yeah, there could be some kids that are overdiagnosed, but I really feel for the adults because that have been living it with their whole life and people just don't believe them, or like doctors don't understand. And you really have to be introspective and kind of, all right, let's see if we're going to start here.
Yeah, I'm watching.
Don't worry, I'll stop
as soon as it pops, I'll stop. Here we go. Here we go, guys. I'm gonna mute my mic. The volume good, guys? Volume good on that? Okay. Let me know if the volume needs to go up.
What follows light and shadow is silence. That silence breaks. I am summoning you as a new age begins. I see sapient life turn to each other. They remember how to look to the stars. They remember curiosity. They remember how to thrive. But they have forgotten. They forgot we were here long before the Traveler. They forgot that they need us. But they are fated to remember. I will remind them. I'm sure you will, but not through me. Find someone else. My will is my own.
All right, everyone, hello and welcome here to Bungie HQ in beautiful Bellevue, Washington. We have got an amazing stream lined up for you to tell you a little bit about the Edge of Fate and the future of Destiny 2 as well. My name's Andy. I work on the social media team here, but no need to worry. As always, I am joined by some of my amazing colleagues here at Bungie to share some of the finer details of the stuff that we're going to be getting into today. So, how about we go ahead and get into it so we can show you what we got. Starting first with this gentleman on my right and to your left is someone that you've probably seen if you've tuned into our streams before or Vidocs, the one and only Mr. Robbie Stevens, Assistant Game Director here at Bungie. How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's always a pleasure to spend a day with you.
Yeah, it's been a nice time, honestly, hasn't it?
Yeah,
Well,
always.
To that end as well, for anyone that doesn't get to hang out as much as we do, can you tell everyone at home a little bit about yourself and what you do here?
Yeah, sure. So I'm one of the creative and game directors for the game. So that means like I'm a vision holder and I work across the entire Destiny team with people like Allison and Dylan on the couch here to chart a new course for Destiny and a new future for the game. And just incredibly excited to be sharing with everyone today of what we've been up to.
Yeah, can't wait. We've got a big show ahead, so thank you for being here.
Yeah, of course.
And of course, as we move, pardon me, right on down the line, someone who again has also had the good opportunity to join us on these streams as well, and is now firing some finger guns like a pro. Destiny's narrative director, the one and only Allison Lures. Allison,
hello.
how's it going?
It's going so good. I'm here on a couch and I get to yell about Destiny with you. So
Not
it's a
bad
good day.
Yeah, honestly, I'll take that anytime I can. Well,
Same.
for anyone who also hasn't had a chance to yell on couches about Destiny with us or hasn't joined us in the past, do you mind telling us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So my name is Allison. I'm the narrative director for Destiny 2. And so that means it's the job of me and my team to make you laugh and make you cry and make you go, whoa, I totally forgot about this thing from 8 years ago. How did they remember? It's because we're good at our jobs.
It's true.
So there you
yeah.
go.
As someone who gets to sit in on the writers' rooms, I can now doubly confirm that. So thank
we
you for
love
being
having you
here.
there.
So much
Yeah.
fun. No, seriously, thank you so much. And of course, as we move right on down the line, the gentleman there at the very end of the couch, someone who is a friend to all Guardian kind, who's known far and wide, a member of the Destiny Global Comms team here at Bungie, Mr. Dylan Gaffner. How's it going, Dylan?
It's going well. How are you, Andy?
I'm doing so well. Thank you so much for
Got to make sure to ask every time.
I appreciate it. I need all the help I can get. Well, to anyone out there who may not have accosted you on the wild world of social media or is just somehow meeting you for the first time, do you mind telling us about what you do here at Bungie?
My name is Dylan Gaffner, formerly community team, where we would go out, collect your feedback, translate it to the dev team, and then bring their information back to you, kind of be that middleman. Now I'm on Global Comms, so I'm going to be in more of like a puzzle piece organization stage of what do we talk about, when do we talk about it, why do we talk about it, and then just making sure we get the information out to all players.
Yeah, well, we all appreciate it. Thank you for always being the voice of the player inside our hallowed halls. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, well, now that we've kind of got the intros out of the way, let's talk about our new saga. Robbie, I'd love to start with you. What's up next in Destiny, and where are we exploring?
Yeah, so our first expansion this year, The Edge of Fate, is the start of a brand new multi-year saga called the Fate Saga. And so we want to tell a story about something older, about the nature of fate itself. Are we bound by it? Can we fight it? Because before the Traveler ever arrived in our solar system, there was already space magic here, Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so ultimately, this is a story that we're going to explore one of Destiny's biggest mysteries and the foundations of the universe itself.
You're talking about the Nine, aren't you?
Who
Yeah.
told you?
I think it's
Subtle,
How did
I
you
know.
guess?
Yeah.
Lift you off.
We did such a good job with this
Really
secret.
buried that lead, didn't we? Yeah.
Just a little bit.
That's, but I mean, to that end, so who and maybe more appropriately, what are the Nine?
Yeah, so buckle up. In the simplest description possible, the Nine are extraordinarily powerful beings that have been in the solar system for way, 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 way longer than the Traveler. We can think of them as being kind of connected to each of the major celestial bodies in Sol. So that's each of our 8 planets plus the sun. Sorry, Pluto.
It's messed up.
Didn't make the cut.
All right, fair.
I don't make the rules. Yeah, there you go. But the important thing to know about them is that this is why we're going to be so focused on the solar system for the next saga. We want to ask questions about our home that we've never asked before.
Yeah. So when it comes to the 9, obviously, Eagle-Eyed Guardians have been able to spot references to them for quite some time, whether it be outright ominous or a straight-up game show in some cases. Can you tell us a little bit maybe about what we should expect from them?
Expect to be surprised. We're, like you said, the lore of the 9 really ranges from like Star Horse infinitely neighing to the 9 doing genuinely awful, awful things in our lore. And so the important thing to know about them is that the 9 are individuals. This isn't a collective. It's not like a hive mind. Each of them are kind of their own being, their own person in the loose definition of a person. They have different wants and desires. They can ally with different members and fight with different members too. In the words of one of our characters really early on, there are aliens, and then there's aliens, and then there are aliens, and that latter one is what the 9 are qualified as.
Fair enough. All right, so beings of obviously immense power, something that the Guardians have gone toe-to-toe with in the past. We've even faced off against the very embodiment of the darkness itself.
Yeah.
What could be tougher than that?
Yeah, so this is something that we think about a lot about because ultimately the 9 seek to free themselves at no matter the cost to humanity. And because they're extra dimensional in the ways that Allison are describing, they're not bound by the same rules that we are, that we've really experienced before in the game today. And so humanity and the Guardians, to many of them, are ultimately just bugs that can be squashed on, that they don't really care or think about beyond, achieving their ultimate goals. So.
Yeah, I mean, like, for the last 10 years, Guardians have really just been making their own fate.
Yeah.
I mean, so the 9 is challenging that. How are we going to deal with it?
Yeah, whether we like it or not, the 9 have a plan for us. And like you said, Guardians are really good at making their own fate and going out and deciding who they want to be. But what happens when them deciding to make our own fate is exactly what our fate is? Like, what if that was the plan all along? These are extra-dimensional beings. That means they perceive our reality in a very different way and can interact with it in a very different way.
It's like they're a move ahead in chess.
Weird.
What a reference. But you were mentioning, obviously, the Fate Saga is one of the subjects of today. How long can we expect the Fate Saga to last?
Yeah, so the Fate Saga is going to play out over several years, and ultimately, we know where we're driving this car. We know where we're going with it. But the conclusion of the Edge of Fate itself is going to leave you with more questions than answers, and it's going to be the catalyst into this new multi-year saga. Because we really want to return Destiny to being a game about big questions, right? And so the way we think about this is about pouring jet fuel into the speculation engine of the game. So we're going to be revealing a lot of ideas, a lot of concepts, and many of them we're not going to be answering immediately because we're going to be telling the story over multiple expansions, and we're going to be giving you those expansion beats more times than we have before in the past. And so the Year of Prophecy kicks off with the Fate Saga, and with it, humanity is now set on a collision course with this celestial pantheon of the system that has been here for a very, very long time. And so the Edge of Fate launches on July 15th. And then the second expansion of our Year of Prophecy is Renegade, which comes this winter. And then later in 2026, we've got Shattered Cycle and The Alchemist. It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of exciting beats. And so, again, the Edge of Fate is just the beginning of this long journey of this awesome vehicle we're all jumping into and driving together, and it's going to take us to some new places.
That's exciting. So with regards to the Edge of Fate right here in front of us, you were also nice enough to bring the class something today. You've got some gameplay with you, right?
Oh, yeah, we got some clips.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we should show those off.
It's a doozy.
Let's check it
Like
out.
the present. Let's check it out.
Observe, connect, conceal. Guardian, I had a vision. Conform, comply, return. They just wanted to show us disasters. Observe, connect, conceal. I'm not human anymore. Return, conform, comply. No one else should know what this feels like. Terminate your suspicion, Commander. Remove your scornful blindfold.
All right, that gives us an awful lot to go ahead and continue to dive into. And here to help us go ahead and explore a little bit more of it, everyone, you probably noticed we've been joined by someone new here on the couch. We are privileged to be joined by someone who's the originator of perhaps my favorite all-time Destiny emote, the one and only Dave Samuel, art director here at Bungie. Dave, how's it going, man?
It's going great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. For anyone who maybe for some reason somehow doesn't have that emote in their collection or hasn't seen you at a past Vidoc, do you mind telling us a little bit about what you do here at Bungie?
Yeah, I'm art director on Edge of Fate. I work with the art team to visualize the narrative and design and kind of bring it all together.
It's a lot to bring together. Thank you very much for being here today.
Yeah.
So with the Edge of Fate, it's obviously the first expansion in the Fate saga. Allison, I'd love to start with you, actually. What can you tell us about the Edge of Fate?
The Edge of Fate begins with an invitation, and we are invited, along with a very specific group of people, to a location, to a moment in time for a very specific reason.
Very specific purpose.
Very specific reason and purpose, yes. And the place that we're going to is called Kepler. And so you may be saying, now, Allison, hold on. Hold your horses
read my mind.
second,
Yeah.
because the Kepler I know is the one that's way outside of our galaxy. What do you mean we're going to Kepler? And I say, like, dear friend, didn't you know if you look inside in Destiny's universe, the Oort cloud at the edge of the solar system, you'll find a little planetoid that also happens to be named Kepler here in the world of Destiny. And that's where we're going, to Kepler.
Super exciting. And this is kind of a, Robbie, we were talking kind of before the show, this is like like a first taste of something new, right?
Yeah, so what you're seeing here is us just trying something new. We're expanding the universe of Destiny, creating new mysteries to uncover. This whole destination is about exploring a labyrinthian world that it took inspirations from things like Dreaming City, exotic missions, dungeons, and it's wrapping it all through a Metroidvania expired experience. And so at the heart of all of this, at the heart of the Edge of Fate, is a player-driven exploration and discovery of an exotic world with brand new abilities.
So actually to even just maybe dig a little bit deeper, like how is the Edge of Fate going to be different from past expansions that we've made for Destiny?
Yeah, so at the global scale, when we're thinking about expansions in the Year of Prophecy and the formula of Destiny expansions going forward, first off, we're doing 2 expansions a year instead of just 1. And think of each of these expansions as a little bigger than something like a Rise of Iron from D1. And so both of these expansions combined are going to be even more expansion content than we've done in the past. And by delivering 2 of these a year, we're upping the pace of major world and story events that really matter to players and are going to be pushing the Fate saga forward. And so we're trying radical new things with each of these expansions. And so alongside this new destination of Kepler, this exotic world that players will explore with brand new abilities, we also have world tiers. And world tiers allow you to take on a higher level of challenge on the destination in order to extract some of the best loot within the release. But what's cool about world tiers is as you play through the mainline story and you play through the first couple of world tiers, you're going to unlock later world tiers. And as you're claiming these abilities, as you're exploring the world more, as you're discovering more within the release, you're putting these puzzle pieces together and you're figuring out how to solve all the mysteries on Kepler with different ways. And so you might play a puzzle in one way, a mission in one way, and when you're in these higher world tiers in the post game, you can start to solve these problems in different ways that you couldn't before in the original playthrough. And so alongside all of this, we're also going to have a ton of quest content that we're rethinking about how we use within the game. And so on Kepler, there's some non-linearity within the destination itself. And so with a lot of our side quest content that is related to the critical path, but you don't have to play it. It's there for you to explore. It's driven by your discovery of the world. You're out in the field, you discover something and you pick it up, and that's going to help you explore the characters in the world of Kepler more and go deeper on that story. And so, yeah, again, this is all about us just looking at the formulas that we've been building in Destiny over the last 10 years. And some of them are really strong, but they're due for some experimentation and some radical changes. And so that's what you're seeing here with the first taste of the Edge of Fate.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I love everything you just said. I was a little distracted by some of the gameplay we were showing, like exotic sniper rifle, I think I saw, kind of recognize that.
Oh, yeah.
Some enemies with a couple really cool twists, like, okay.
Yeah.
But then also there was a guardian that turned into like a lightning ball. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's multiple new abilities that your players are going to be able to discover on Kepler that's going to make them navigate and look at the world in different ways. But the one you're talking about, Dylan, we see it as our premier ability, the crown jewel of the release, and that's called Matterspark. And Dave has joined us, and he's helps us take the vision of the narrative and the design and the art and smush it together in amazing experiences. And so I think Dave should talk to us more about Matterspark.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, so there's this new source of energy on Kepler, this strange dark matter. So the Guardian binds itself to the dark matter using the arc powers within. You can think of the dark matter as like a medium, and the arc as this catalyst that will like allow you to completely change form. Transforming into Matter Spark lets you squeeze into tight areas, race around areas, jump over stuff, and it also allows you to turn into this basically electric rolling ball of death, jolting and shocking enemies that come across your path.
So obviously, one big part movement, one big part combat, but I mean, even just in addition to that, to look a little bit, wider, like how did the Matter Spark Ball kind of influence the world that we're going to be inhabiting?
Yeah, the team really had to rethink what it means to build a destination with these abilities in mind. A simple hill becomes a ramp to get to a new space. A crack in the wall, it basically will reveal a whole new area to explore. It's also a new way to engage with enemies. Instead of taking a bunch of enemies head on, you can find a Matter Spark pad, transform, turn into this electric ball of death, and then just like start racing around the arena, dash over their heads, and flank from behind, and then really give the House of Exile on Kepler a bad day.
As well we should. It's a good day for us as well. So what are some of the other Kepler abilities that we'll be able to unlock while we're out there as well?
Yeah, so each of these Kepler abilities are a mix of dark matter and our Guardian's powers. So we have the Relocator Cannon, which is this new fallen dark matter tech mixed with void. This is going to allow you to bypass laser walls, use these cascading relay networks, and just basically teleport around the world. Another ability that we have is Mattermorph. This is dark matter mixed with strand, allows you to manipulate the environment. You'll be able to basically push and morph and move geometry to create bridges, open up doorways, and then also reveal secrets and new opportunities.
Yeah, so what's really important about what Dave is describing, and when we were thinking about building this world, it was all about like, hey, here's this new tool to navigate and see the world in a different way and solve little puzzles and mysteries throughout the missions, the free roam, and the quest content, and beyond. But also what was really important to us is that we lean into Destiny's first-class ability gameplay. And so with Matter Spark, like Dave is mentioning, you're jumping, you're dashing into enemies to destroy them. You're doing giant explosions with them. With the Relocator Cannon, you're just blowing everything up with void explosions and graviton lance style like little secret projectiles. And then what's really fun about Mattermorph is you can just be like throwing these strange shurikens basically to just like delete an encounter before you then like start to morph the environment around you and move to the next area. And so it's just really exciting I'm incredibly excited about watching players just like solve puzzles and fight encounters in ways that like we don't even expect yet, and see how they take on the destination. And just like I really want to emphasize, you're going to be upgrading these, and when you get into especially the post-game experience, it's going to unlock, there's something unlocks with Matter Spark that really changes the way that you can play through the entire destination.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about dark matter,
Yes.
We have darkness abilities like strand and stasis already. Like, how is dark matter different?
Yeah, so dark matter and darkness are two completely separate things. They're completely different things. But dark matter does exist in our world. In the world of Destiny, we know it as being tightly connected to the Nine. It's what the Nine are actually made out of. In our world, dark matter is invisible. You can't really see it. And it wouldn't be very fun to make a destination where there's an invisible thing that you can't actually see. So lucky for us on Kepler, there's a bioluminescent microbe that allows us to see all of this substance that's impacted this world so much. It allows us to see how it's impacted the plant life, how it's impacted the behavior of the peoples that we're going to encounter. And we can see how it has been able to bring these things that are kind of unstuck in time into this current location.
I do have to put on my drifter hat for just a second and, like, what does it smell like? What does it taste like?
Yeah. Dark matter smells and tastes like bleach and math. Yeah, it's true.
Cannot wait to get that chip flavor.
Yeah.
Get it with a sandwich today after.
It's zesty.
Yeah, should be good. Actually, so on the topic too of stuff in the trailer as well, we heard someone talking there. Can you tell us who that was?
Sure. That was Lodi. Lodi is a new character that we're introducing in Apollo. Not in Apollo. We're introducing him in the Edge of Fate.
Yeah.
I want to give a special shout out to Brian Villalobos, who portrays Lodi and does a spectacular job. This character is fascinating. He's kind of a fish out of water, but the fun thing about tropes is to kind of put a twist on them, right? So what if that fish that we pulled out of the water was the most qualified fish to be pulled out into the air?
Down for anything.
It's down for anything.
Yeah.
And what if that fish was kind of made to be pulled out of the water? I don't want to give away too much because this character is way more fun for the players to figure out what his deal is. But I will say that Lodi is very, very far from home.
Very fair, very exciting. So,
I do have to call out too, before we started this, you and Robbie were talking about how Lodi is like a notice me character.
Oh yeah, Robbie wanted a senpai.
I did. Yeah, I wanted someone that I just wanted to spend a bunch of time with on this new adventure we're going on.
Yeah, a friend that we can look up to.
Yeah.
right, yeah. Notice me.
Notice
Notice
me.
me.
Yeah, of course,
He
it
will.
writes
He will.
itself, or rather Allison does. So with regards to the characters as well, so is it a whole new cast of characters in the Edge of Fate?
No, we're going to see some new faces like Lodi and other characters, but we're also going to see some familiar ones too. Ikora is here. The stakes are high enough that she's here investigating what's going on. And as it turns out, in one of our major mysteries, she's kind of at the center of it. She was invited here, as was Lodi, same as we were. All of it's kind of tied together.
Very exciting. So
the way, if I can,
No,
yeah,
please.
no, yeah,
please,
like
yeah.
the way we think about this is about all these characters, their fates are intertwined in some way. There's these puppet masters that have been pulling the strings for a very, very long time in order for everyone to get here at this moment. And so as a guardian and these characters involved, they're gonna have to decide if they're fight your fate. Like that's what we think about. For these individuals, that's what they're going to have to go through and determine about how they can stand up to this new conflict that is surrounded by the Nine, because they are fated to be here. And what does that mean for them, and what does that mean for their future and the future of Soul itself?
So with regard to these new characters and this world we find ourselves in, was there anything about that setting, or in particular, that really influenced the creation, rather, of this world that we're going to be inhabiting?
Yeah, I'll give you a list of fun facts. First off, if you've been paying attention to Destiny over the last week or so, you already know that there's been people on Kepler for a long time. That's an old-ass computer that you were putting those numbers into. We also know that the Vex are here. They're studying the Nine because turns out the Nine can do something that the Vex can't. As Dave mentioned, the House of Exile are also here. They've become fixated on a being that they call the Giver. And kind of most importantly, the dimensionality on Kepler is really thin. So the 3 dimensions that we can know and see and touch are very close to the realm that the Nine live in. And that means some things from Earth's past have been yanked into Kepler's present.
Exciting.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, so we've been talking about invitations throughout this, and we need to call out an invitation that's actually going to be waiting in the game after this is over. Ride of the Nine begins today.
Yeah.
So I believe we have a trailer to show.
Yeah, you were nice enough to bring a trailer along. I'll go ahead and give it a look really
Yeah,
quickly.
let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, so that's Ride of the Nine, which is our essential prologue story for the Edge of Fate. And these 3 dungeons that are featured in this event are free for all players starting today. And so what's really important about this is that these dungeons are both for veteran dungeon crawlers, hardcore raiders, people have been in these places a lot, but also new guardians who have never stepped into a dungeon before, right? What was really important for us when we were developing Ride of the Nine was that we are changing the formula on how we can think about how we can welcome even more even more people into these experiences. And so you're going to be able to go in solo, buffed up, and explore a dungeon by yourself, or go in match made with other fire team members shoulder to shoulder for the very first time. But don't worry, because we also have that higher level challenge for our veteran, our hardcore dungeon crawlers, where you're going to be able to earn the best possible loot, exclusive rewards, and also an exclusive title as part of Rights of the Nine. What's also really important about this event for being a prologue for the Edge of Fate is that it really reintroduces the emissary into the game, and you're going to learn why her job is pretty crappy and why she quits at the top of the Edge of Fate, like we saw at the beginning of this show. And so, Andy, we've been talking a bunch about how our Destiny expansions are changing the formula for Destiny going forward. So now I think it's time for us to start talking about how the core hobby of Destiny is changing going forward, the day-to-day of playing Destiny, week over week experience. And we've got someone else on the couch here to help us talk about that.
We have an expert in that very subject now who has gone ahead and joined us on the couch. We are now joined by the one and only Mr. Ben Womack, creative director here on Destiny. Ben, how's it going, man?
Hey, I'm doing great. I'm really excited to be here. There's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, seriously.
There is a lot.
Yeah, it's going to be a very good conversation we have coming up.
Yes.
But before we get into that, can you tell us just a little bit about what you do here?
Yeah. So I'm the Destiny 2 creative director for the core game, or the core hobby, as we call it.
Yeah.
And it has to do with all parts of the game, everything from Edge of Fate, through our seasons, through the fundamental systems. And in particular, like Robbie was saying, I've been focusing on thinking about the kind of building blocks of Destiny 2 and getting those not only stood up, but also transformed and iterated on in some really exciting new places.
Nice. Well, let's go ahead and just start at the top. Can you tell us a little bit about what the core formula of Destiny is changing and why?
Yes. So I think I need to start with the why first, because it's important to think about what is Destiny, what is great about Destiny. And Destiny is best when you have awesome chases that you're excited about, you have really cool, powerful builds to make, and there's a mountain to climb that's right in front of you that you want to climb. You're like, I want that mountain, it looks pretty cool. And the thing that is not always true right now in Destiny is it doesn't feel streamlined as it could. Players don't have as much agency. We want to be player driven, we want to be more rewarding than we are. Because right now there are barriers to playing Destiny in the best way. And those barriers are insurmountable sometimes. So thinking about that whole picture of, okay, what is the Destiny that we really want, that has been in the past, that we also want to get back to, and where we want to go for the future, that's where all the changes you're going to see have started, at their inception point. So it's a big piece of the pie.
Massive updates coming across so many systems of the game, and we're just getting in, digging into the surface.
Yeah.
I mean, to that same end, then, how are we making it easier, pardon me, to go ahead and just get straight into the fun?
Oh, no, let's do it, because that's exactly what we want to do. Yeah. And the first thing you're going to see when you log into Destiny with Edge of Fate, you're going to log in your character and see your ship in orbit. It's going to say, it's not going to say Open Director, it's going to say Open Portal. And the portal is our new front page of the game. We're trying to get you to the fun as fast as possible and as few clicks as we can. We even have Edge of Fate there in the corner so that it's right immediately there. No fumbling around with the map to get to it, really. And we're also taking other big parts of the game, the ritual game and for seasons, and putting them into these ops categories. So the idea is that we're having these different ops for different moods. We're having solo ops. We have a bunch of fire team ops. We have pinnacle ops. And of course, we have crucible ops, still super important for the game.
Yeah. I mean, to start up at the top, can you tell us a little bit more about what solo ops is?
Oh, yeah. So solo ops is exactly what it says on the tin. It is a bunch of activities that are made for solo players. And the conception point of that was we want to make activities for players who have a smaller amount of time that they want to play in, and they don't necessarily want to have dependencies on other players, but they still want to get in there and play for 10 to 15 minutes and get some real progress.
Yeah, get some loot.
Yeah, get some loot.
Yeah.
Get some loot and get your character forward and feel like, I played some Destiny and that was great. And even if you don't feel like playing with other people, that's fine, because we have an activity type that is designed for one player.
Excellent. So, I mean, to that same end, what are some other ways that we can play and have fun using Portal as well?
Yeah, so Robbie actually has a great way of talking about this.
Yeah, some of the North Star that is what we talk about when we were developing the Portal early on was where are we headed with this thing? And ultimately, it's play your way. It's giving players more agency, more personal drive to figure out how they want to engage with the power climb and the new progression systems coming and our seasons. And so the entirety new progression and power climb is now all available to you in the portal at your fingertips in one place. It's really easy to find, really easy to jump in. Anything you play inside of that category is any of those categories is gonna help you make progress. And so, because we want Destiny to be welcoming not only to new players, but also old players who are coming back to the game to join us with the Edge of Fate. And we also want this to be like a new even playing field for everyone. And so as part of this is a commitment from us as part of the core hobby and all the seasonal content we're building, that we're going to be continually investing in this, right? We're going to be continually updating this over time for years to come. And so, you're asking me directly, like, what else is there to do?
Yeah.
Ben mentioned solo ops. We also have the fire team ops and pinnacle ops. Both of these are more around playing with other fire team members, shoulder to shoulder, where fire team ops are more quicker sessions. There are some longer form things in it too, but then pinnacle ops are more about those really long form or more challenging kind of focused activities like exotic missions, for instance. And so, and then the one thing we haven't talked about yet very deeply, but is incredibly important, and it's something that I think we've done for the first time like ever, or maybe since early D1.
It's kind of a return to form.
Yeah. You're going to be able to experience the entirety of the power climb within Crucible Ops by playing PvP, right? So this means like, if you want to be sweaty, Andy, which like I know you, Dylan, too. I know you're that way, right? Like I know both of y'all. Like if you want to put the sweatbands on, you're going to be able to play the entire experience in the season here and earn some of the highest tier loot that's also available in the game. So,
I have to say, this is like super exciting because like my player type or other folks out in the community, like they want to go in, they want to jam on PvP, but then their friends invite them to do a dungeon or a higher tier activity, and they're like, oh wait, I need to grind a long time to get up to power. Now through PvP, they can get up to power, and you can just bring them into that PvE experience and have a fun time with each other.
Yeah.
So.
That's honestly how I primarily played D1, so I'm really looking forward to that. So it sounds like the core, obviously, of what you guys are talking about, play the way you want to play. It's at the center of all of it. What if I really want to challenge myself, push myself?
Oh yeah,
That's
important to us.
Yeah.
That's important to us.
Well, death, but also success.
Yes,
and
that's true.
from it.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, and so we really want to give agency. That's one of the things. Player driven towards loot and challenge. And so we have a really hugely expanded activity customization system. We have a lot more difficulty levels, and we have a ton of new modifiers. We have 50 new modifiers along with all the old modifiers that we've released in the past that are going to make this big curated web of options for you to experience any of the PvE content in the curator. And so like we have Banes, not just old Banes that we have, but new Banes as well. We also have boons to help you like get advantages in your activities and for your build. We have challenges and trade-offs. And the fun part is you're going to get these different combinations that are available, and you're going to then make a mix that's actually going to change the way you play and be pretty interesting, and sometimes be the way you prefer you play. Like there's a new boon called Grappler that I personally love. It's kind of my preferred way to play, where they give you 3 grapple grenades replacing your current grenade. You can't do the melee, but they recharge super fast. So any build you want, you could now Spider-Man around any map. It's actually super fun.
It's so fun. Yeah, and I mean, like, what's at the heart of what Ben is talking about is what we kind of call the virtuous cycle, right? Where you're going to be crafting your build, tinkering with the activity, looking at like how you can earn a higher tier of reward by taking on higher challenge. And as you earn better loot, you're looking towards that next mountain to climb just ahead of you all the time. And so this is really about how far you want to push yourself upwards within the portal itself. But also, we also are thinking about the people, and that's the depth, right? That's the depth of the challenge that we're talking about. That's also, but we're also thinking about the people who don't have as much time to play with like solo ops, and also if you're scared of modifiers or you're scared of customizing these activities.
Or you just don't feel like
doing it. Yeah, that's a great way to describe it. Thank you. We have a bunch of quick play options, right, Ben?
Yeah, quick play options, and we actually have matchmaking and fire team ops. And we have fire team finder, and so you're able to like really choose kind of what you're in the mood for.
Oh yeah, we technically have matchmaking across every activity that exists.
Except for solo ops, because that's solo.
Right.
But yes, otherwise,
but in the fire teams or pinnacle ops, it's everything.
Yeah, you'll have options to play by yourself or with other people. Oh, actually, a really fun part is you can play a strike by yourself as hard as you want it to now, which is really fun. Yeah.
Well, you're talking about like all the different boons and combinations. I think at one point you were saying around 50 or something like that. Those
50 new ones.
50 new ones. Yeah. So it's like you can take those into solo ops. Like we're talking about this being kind of leisurely, bite-sized activity, but if you want to take it and say, I don't want Weenie Hut Jr., I want like esoteric level solo hardest thing in the world, like you can kind of customize and do that.
You can just do it from the very start if you really want to.
Yeah.
And
depends on how deep you want to go.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. And the point is that you're going to like stretch that far, and we want the reward to feel like worthwhile.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to feel like as you're pushing yourself, you are rewarded for it. That is something that's really important to the vision here for the portal.
Yeah. Rewards, huh?
Rewards. There are a lot of rewards, aren't there?
It's funny you mentioned it. Yeah, we've got Banes, Boons, modifiers, but let's talk about gear for a little bit here.
Yeah.
What's changing about loot and why should Guardians care?
Yeah, so like talking about chases and mountains and builds, like gear's at the center of all of that. And we actually have 2 giant gear changes I'm gonna like put in 2 little buckets for us to talk about. The first one is Armor 3.0. And the next one is gear tiers. And so like talking about Armor 3.0 first, we are probably making the biggest change ever since Shadowkeep.
It's
around
huge.
the system. It's
yeah,
enormous.
It's a huge change.
Yeah, so like we're adding set bonuses, which is a long requested feature for all the new armor that you're going to be able to get at Edge of Fate launch, and we're redoing all the stats on armor where they can now like exceed 100.
Go beyond 100.
Go beyond 100 for extra bonuses.
Yep.
We're going to every single piece of new legendary armor that drops is going to have all the energy filled in, so you can build crafting right away, and it's going to essentially like. There's more features actually that I could talk about, but I don't think I'm allowed to yet.
Fair. Well, something that we can talk about too, you mentioned gear tiers as well.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so gear tiers are very exciting because every single legendary weapon and armor that you can get is going to have 5 gear tiers, starting from 1 going up to 5. And like we have a 5 gear tier 5 piece of legs armor on the screen right now, and you can see that like this is like looks really cool with iconography, but it also has a ton more stats. And oh look, what's that?
Yeah, what's going on with the energy there?
Yeah, the energy.
Ben?
Yeah, that energy says 11, and it's true.
11. Yep.
It's not a typo. Like energy is going to 11 for higher tier armor, and so if you want that for your build crafting opportunities, it does like give you some new options you never had before. You're gonna have to challenge yourself to get more higher tier armor and keep on going to get yet more higher tier armor to get those options.
Yeah, and this is also not something that's just relegated to armor, right? When it comes to weapons, they're obviously getting their own refresh as well.
Yes,
What's Destiny without chasing some?
You read my mind.
Yeah, like weapons
seriously.
are part of the player identity. You know, some people like have a gun that they love.
You got fashion, and then you have gunplay.
That's
right?
true. Though we do have fashion for your guns a bit now.
Hey.
well, so because once you reach tier 5 for your legendary drops, you're going to be getting tier 5 weapons, and those have unique shader treatment. It's like essentially a completely different look that's going to immediately identify it to you and others that this is the highest tier gear of this drop that you can get. It's going to show on the weapon. It's going to show on the icon. It's even going to show when you kill enemies with that weapon, because there's unique kill effects for tier 5 weapons that you can turn on or off if you don't want it, but your gameplay will like show that, no, yeah, the weapon that is being used is like the highest tier you can get.
Yeah, Giver's Blessing, which I think we have on screen right now. This is one of the Kepler auto rifles, and I cannot put this thing down.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, when we're playing through the Edge of Fate right now, and it's what's really exciting about it for me is that like when you see that tier 5 drop, like you know immediately that's better than like a tier 3 or tier 4 weapon that you have, right? And I think that's when we talk about making Destiny easier to just jump in, find the fun, make it accessible, but also create more depth.
Yeah.
You know, this is what we're thinking about. It's like how can we just make immediate, like you understand, like okay, this is probably better than the thing I have right now, depending on what gear tier it is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good example of how much time and effort is being put into these game systems to make them more like approachable. Change can be scary. There's a lot of change that's about to come to the game. We're Armor 3.0, we have so many new boons, we have a bunch of new stuff. And after 10 years of Destiny, this is going to flip some stuff on its head. So, I mean, we're going to have a bunch of blog content. We're going to have interviews with Robbie, with Ben, with more folks across the team that have been working on this. And then we'll also be elevating our creator community when they're creating guides, all that kind of stuff. It's going to be a fun time. But ultimately, a big shout out and thank you to all the folks that have been coming into our studio, giving feedback early on some of these systems so they can be more approachable. And we're looking forward to all the feedback that's going to be coming after launch too. Like this is again one of our first steps into something, and then the community and we are going to build something amazing.
Yeah, and I can't stress enough how much feedback we've gotten from the community summits we've been running over the last year for the Edge of Fate, and just people reaching out to the community teams and others to us. Like your feedback is invaluable. So like seriously, like thank you so much. We're making this game together ultimately.
Yeah, it's incredibly important part of the process. Like I don't think we would be able to make what we do without it.
Yeah.
Working with the community is obviously a core part. Dylan, huge thanks to you and your team, obviously, for helping to lead that charge. And in advance for the big blogs you get to write. And then also our social media team will go ahead and get out the door. So go ahead and give us a follow.
I think, Ben, you were saying you wanted to try to break the record for longest twid?
I'm more predicting we are.
Yeah. So
it's not about try, it's the state of things.
It's going to be a multi-month journey as we head towards launch. So.
Yeah, be a good time. But, you know, we've been talking a lot about the core Destiny hobby. How does that extend into like how players are going to experience like a full year of Destiny?
Yeah, so we've been focusing on improving and changing the formula of Destiny in multiple ways. And so progressing through the Fate Saga is going to be more meaningful with 2 expansions a year. We've been talking about how focusing our seasons on the core hobby of Destiny and that commitment to continually updating it. And in addition, we're going to have 2 free major updates between each of our major expansions coming in the Year of Prophecy and beyond. And so ultimately that means there's 4 big beats happening in a year, 2 expansions, 2 free major updates between those expansions. So what that means we're not doing is paid seasonal content anymore. We're not doing separate seasonal storylines. And this also means we're not building a bunch of activity content that basically just goes away and is less meaningful to the game after 3 months. So we're instead focusing all of that effort that used to go there instead into building up the core hobby of the game so the core hobby stays fresh and exciting, year round. And so ultimately, this means no more paywalls for seasonal content, and also these major updates themselves that I'm signposting around right now. The size of them, roughly, and the inspiration for them, we're thinking about is like Into the Light.
Okay. So when you say like Into the Light, for folks that aren't out there, like what for a major update, how big is that? Like how do you encapsulate that?
So when I say Into the Light, a lot of this is like the inspiration of what it was. And with Into the Light came a really cool theme that wrapped around all the new stuff we were building within it, but also a lot of the reprise stuff as well. And also, with it came Onslaught, a new type of activity. It came with reprised exotic missions and a rethinking of how we could do like a rad style event, a raid event with the Pantheon. And so for our first major update coming a few weeks after the Edge of Fate launches, we've got Ash and Iron. Right? And so with Ash and Iron, we're going to be returning to the Plague Lands.
Returning to the Plague Lands, can't wait.
It's going to happen.
Plague Lands, baby.
And so that story is going to pick up from where we left off from the Edge of Fate. And with it, we're going to have a new activity called Reclaim, a brand new exotic mission, new types of pinnacle ops entering that for the first time, as well as, of course, what's Destiny without loot to chase? We've got new gear, new rewards, and 2 new exotic weapons as part of Ash and Iron as well. And again, this major update and all the seasonal content going forward is free for all players. All the activity content that exists in the portal, that's free to play.
Very nice. So even to actually go one quick layer 2 deeper on seasons as well, what are some of the cool things that we're going to be able to do with the season that's launching alongside the Edge of Fate?
Yeah, Ben has been working on this space for the team for a while now, so I'm going to kick this one to him.
Yeah, so we're trying to make any time the best time to hop into Destiny. And one of the ways we want to do that is we want to invest in events that are like accelerating the game and enhancing every part of the game, but also bringing new cool stuff. And actually, we've been working on this so long, we actually have some new cool stuff coming before the Edge of Fate.
It's a special little treat.
Yeah, special little treat. So this Friday, you can play a little event, maybe you've heard of it, called Heavy Metal, which is Tanks vs. Briggs, a new PvP mode. It's super fun. I would kind of wish I was playing it right now, not gonna lie. But the thing that people at home don't know is we have a new reward. That's a unique thing in Destiny if you invest in this event, if you go and play it. And it is a free-to-play event. So this reward is free to play. It is a new combat vehicle that goes in your Sparrow sled, combat Sparrow, if you will, called the Griffin. And this is a really cool, like, combat-ready vehicle you can take anywhere you can summon a Sparrow. You can summon it and use it to fight your enemies and just have a really good time. And there's some really cool build crafting things with this vehicle that I don't want to spoil right now, let people discover, but I'm super excited for it.
They all thought they were going to ride those skimmers forever.
Well, I mean, we've been saying like, what was it? Skimmer is Flash and the Griffin is Splash.
Hey, there we go. The dad joke quota has been met.
We got to get one in.
Absolutely, yeah. But that's all, right? Ben, like, you've got more for us, don't you?
Oh, yeah. So, like I just said, there's more events that we've been making. There's one that's going to happen right after the launch of Edge of Fate. It's called Arms Week. And it's a 1-week-long event, and you're going to be focusing on one weapon archetype in Arms Week whenever it comes around. And this one is going to give you a new legendary weapon of that type. It's going to have some volatile mods that are there for the week that are going to be super interesting and fun to play with, and some focusing you can do. But there is a problem when you say this event is going to be about weapons and about using them.
Yeah, you got to have a place to test all that out.
Right. And so I mean, I've been doing that in EDZ this whole time. I don't know about the rest of you.
Those poor dregs.
Right?
Yeah.
But there is a new way now. We have a new feature, a long requested feature that is being added to the game with Arms Week. It is the shooting range. And the shooting range is being added to the tower. It is a now permanent addition to the game with the launch of Arms Week. We're not taking it away. And you can go there and you can try out everything in your kit, everything about your build. with all sorts of simulations of different kinds of enemies and situations, and it's all real damage numbers. It's like
It's even got a scoreboard.
It's even got a scoreboard
for you
right there.
and your fire team.
Yeah, your whole raid team can go down into the shooting range and try out, like, see exactly how well you're going to do for some kind of boss at this range or with a
Say,
strategy.
who can do most of the damage, right?
Yeah, well, you're finally going to know.
So we have a rally flag. It's not just a shooting range. Like, you can go beyond the firing line and use your abilities too.
Yeah, you totally can. And like, if you wanted to, you could even take in Prismatic and pop Transcendence and try that out. And well, I think the reason why we're not seeing that right now is because it's a Titan.
Yeah, it's a good soldier.
Yeah.
Standing on that firing line.
Yeah, standing on the firing line.
All about building that line and standing.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of theory crafters are going to have to go ahead and have some upheavals to their Google Docs, I'm guessing. Right?
This will be a really good tool. Like, as we're adding all of these different systems with gear tiering and all of that, you can go in and check those damage numbers in real time. Like, how do my stats change? How are these different gear bonuses going to affect my gameplay? You can see it in the tower now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And while we're talking about weapons,
oh yeah,
well, one more thing, right?
Yeah, no, there's one more thing. I know you're excited. So there's more events. Of course, there's more events, and the holiday events are coming up. Where Solstice is right around the corner.
It's
as
summertime,
well.
right?
It's summertime. Summertime is Solstice time in Destiny 2, and Solstice has some really cool twists and such that we're planning. But I'm not going to talk about that right now. I want to show you all the new holofoil treatment we have for Solstice weapons. So here we go. This is the holofoil treatment for Solstice in 2025. It is
so good.
It's amazing every time I look at it.
Yeah.
It is an ocean and
gun.
the line. Yeah, we put the ocean on a gun. How did we do that? It's beautiful. I love it. And any kind of weapon that drops for this event can have a holofoil.
Yeah,
no
so it
matter
could be
what
a tier 1 or tier 3. Yeah, any
exactly.
weapon can have the holofoil.
Yeah, the tier 5 holofoil.
Ooh.
Like that's gonna be a chase. Our other events will also have holofoils.
Yeah, like Arms Week you're talking
Arms Week
about.
will have its own holofoil treatment. Like every event, a major event we have, will have a holofoil treatment. The holidays will have their own kind of special one, but yeah, Arms Week will have their holofoil drops that you can farm as well.
super exciting. No, it's going to be a good time. I'm going to have way too much stuff to chase down, so appreciate you guys putting all the hard work in, obviously, for that. But I believe we've got one more thing.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking a lot about, here are the free updates coming to Destiny, the portal, a bunch of different stuff, Edge of Fate, but we also have another expansion, and we need Allison back on the couch to talk about it.
Yeah, Allison.
She's the best one to talk
Yeah,
about.
we've got something very exciting, and so once again, Allison, thank you for taking the time to join us today. We appreciate it.
Of course. I'm so excited to be the one more thing.
Yeah, it's a tradition around here, so we're glad that you could obviously go ahead and lead us into this one. But, as Dylan mentioned, we've talked about the Edge of Fate, but this is the first year we're going to be doing 2 expansions over the course of a year. Can you tell us a little bit about Renegades?
Yeah, so we're going to have a dedicated reveal for Renegades in September alongside our major update, Ashen Iron. But earlier, we were talking about how sometimes our formulas can constrain us from experimenting and innovating. And so in that spirit, Renegades is going to be very different from the Edge of Fate. What I can tell you, and we'll talk plenty about it later, is that we're going to be experimenting and innovating with activities, with social mechanics, and more. But more importantly, I want to talk about our inspiration. And so I have to kind of tee it up first. So Renegades is going to be a Destiny, definitively Destiny expansion. This is part of the Fate Saga, and it's going to push it forward in important ways and introduce characters that we're going to spend time with for years to come. It is an essential Fate Saga story. And it's an homage to a universe that has inspired Bungie from the start. It's a universe that all of us here on the couch grew up with, as well as everyone else at the studio and millions of you back at home too. It is a peanut butter and combination, a peanut butter and chocolate combination inside of what we're making that could only be possible in the kind of world that we build here. And so I am absolutely thrilled to be able to give our first sneak peek at Destiny 2 Renegades.
Let's take a look. Okay, Robbie, what did we just see?
Yeah, so that's Renegades, which is coming out this December. And to really drive it home here, Renegades is a one-of-a-kind Destiny experience, right? And just like we on the Destiny team have taken inspiration from other genres like dark fantasy or cosmic horror, Renegades takes the space western vibe and aesthetic that is Star Wars, and it puts it through that Destiny lens. And ultimately, it's created a new lawless frontier that is emerging within Seoul. And so, like, we're so excited to show Renegades off a little bit today and to be talking about it more in the future in September alongside the free major update with Ash and Iron. But right now, today, we're focused on Rite of the Nine and what's right around the corner with the Edge of Fate.
Absolutely. No, I heard a lot of calendars get marked just now on September, but no, super excited to share more of that in the future. But that actually leads us to the conclusion of today's show, which again, we covered a lot.
There's been a lot today.
Yeah, this has been a big show, honestly. No, we went through a lot of it. So let's go ahead and quickly double check. We obviously went through, and the Year of Prophecy, pardon me, is going to go ahead and kick off on July 15th. And this kicks off a brand new multi-year Fate saga and our new focus on the core hobby of Destiny. The first expansion, The Edge of Fate, is going to be launching again on July 15th, as I noted, with its raid launching on July 19th.
Okay, hold up.
Yeah.
So you're going through a lot of information. We already covered that.
Oh, yeah.
But like, you can't just sneak in a raid date. We have a new raid coming with the expansion, July 19th. We're going to have a bunch of blogs. We're going to have the rules, regulations, all that kind of stuff for our raid race.
Of course.
We invite everybody to come in, try to go for that world first title. And yeah, I mean, just stay tuned for more details. We're not going to spoil anything. It's a raid. We got to keep it secret.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, everybody mark your calendars.
Yeah. Bungie.net is the place to go ahead and learn more. And again, follow our social media channels. Do us all a favor. So in addition to that, again, as we noted, Ash and Iron, our first free major update, will be launching on September 9th. Renegades, very exciting, will be launching in December. And then keep an eye again on our social channels. We'll provide all the updates once they're available. But as far as today goes, the Edge of Fate and the entire Year of Prophecy pre-orders are available starting right now. Now, pre-ordering for starters, the Ultimate Edition will go ahead and unlock the New Land Beyond.
New Land Beyond, that exotic sniper.
Ooh,
I can't wait, man.
I can't wait, same, honestly. That'll be unlockable in addition to several other goodies. And also, we've also got a collector's edition that'll be available. You can see here on screen, it will be coming with an awful lot of very cool stuff, including this cool statue that you may have noticed here that's been sitting with us on stage. This is one that you can go ahead and add to your collection as well, but that's not all that's in there. Is there, Allison?
We got, the writing team got a little excited on this one. We put a lot of lore goodies into this collector's edition. So like that weird metal thing, that weird envelope, boy, weird. Wonder what's up with that.
Just decorative
You
points?
should probably read it. Yeah, anyway, we're gonna do a dramatic reading as soon as
Yeah, we should go downstairs immediately after this.
really
Oh yeah, right after this.
Count me in. And then again, too, as far as today goes, Rite of the Nine. This is the essential prologue to the Edge of Fate, and like all of our events moving forward, is going to be a free to all players. So make sure and go ahead and check that out when that arrives. And before the show wraps up, make sure and stick around for a little bit longer. We're going to be rating our good friend Sammy Cat as well. So go ahead and give her a follow. Tell her we said hello in chat. Pardon me. If you have any Twitch Prime subs or anything like that, go ahead and do us a favor. Drop it over there and check out her stream. She's going to be having a good time. But that concludes it for us here today. So for starters, huge thanks to my teammates here for joining me.
Thank you, Andy.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely, yeah. Robbie, Allison, Dylan, of course. There we go. We got Ben and, of course, Mr. Dave Samuel. Thank you all so much for being here today. And then, of course, to the crew that puts all this on.
Thank you, everyone.
This doesn't happen by accident. Thank you all so much for all of your hard work and dealing with me on these last couple of days. And, of course, to everyone at home, to all of our guardians out there in the community, thank you. It's a tremendous privilege to get the opportunity to share what we've been working on early, and it matters only if you guys show up and join us. So we really appreciate it. We hope you enjoyed. And otherwise, in the meantime, until we see you again, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see you all Starside.
Oh my God. Oh my God. This is going to be so much fun. Oh, wow.
I only got excited for a few things at the end, but yeah, we should talk over it.
Yes.
You're excited for all of it?
I was not very hopeful. Here, let me get to the other screen. I was not very hopeful. I really wasn't expecting like a ton of new stuff, but oh my god, I'm really, oh man, this Thursday we got a lot to talk about, and I know we can't go over it all right now.
No,
but I wanted to go backwards on the stream a little bit here, and
that makes sense because that's probably the biggest thing that people are going to be talking about, even though that doesn't come out till later. So I'm surprised they got a partnership with Star Wars. Isn't that a different parent company than Sony and everything? I'm kind of surprised.
That is amazing. I don't know how much money they bought, how much they spent for that, but oh my god, Renegades. I'm thinking, did this come to mind with Renegades? Forsaken, where you had lawless areas where you had all these bosses you had to hunt down that shot Aldrin. Spoiler alert. Aldrin, not Aldrin. Cade. I'm losing it. I'm trying.
Well, they had stuff like that in the
thoughts.
Star Wars game I played recently. I still think everyone should check that game out. I thought it was a lot of fun. But but it'll be fun seeing it in Destiny too, of course.
Oh my god. Geez, where do we even start, man? I mean, obviously we're gonna break all this down in our show on
Thursday,
Thursday,
we don't have to talk tons today, but like I took notes too.
I took a ton of notes. I got sticky notes like
of course
all over the place.
You know what's funny? I'm kind of surprised they talked. Well, okay, actually, I'm not, because it gets people to buy the expansion. That's why they talked about the Star Wars stuff. I was going to say, like, I'm kind of surprised they dropped that piece of information, because that's going to be the big headline. Everyone's going to care about that the most, of course. But it's smart they did, because it gets people to buy the potentially buy the, and to actually, well, here they're doing it again. It seems like the back half of the year might even be better than the first half.
I mean, I'm still excited for the first year, but we're looking at the trailer here at the beginning, and what is happening here? There's like a Guardian version of this character that rips out of her body. Here's a trailer right here. I'm playing it back. There's a the emissary, or whoever her name is like, no, I don't, you get somebody else. I don't want to mess with this. And all of a sudden her skin just peels off, and all of a sudden there's a Guardian version of her with armor and stuff. That, I was excited when I saw that. What do you think?
That I wasn't too impressed with, but it's cool enough. I mean, the thing we know about the 9 is supposedly there's 5 that are on our side, 4 that are not, and of course she's the emissary, kind of like our main contact. And
she's a swing vote, probably.
It'll just be some kind of a thing where, the 9 have never been all on the same side. Like she said, it's not a hive mind. They don't all work together. They're all separate entity, and some may team up with other 9, but it all kind of makes sense to me lore wise that what's going to happen is we're going to have some on our side and some that are against us.
And she says, my will is not my own. So she's basically Xur? Is she basically on the same level as Xur now?
That anyone can say.
Or is that just their saying? Okay, it might just be their saying. I don't know. But just some comments here on Twitch. I'm so freaking excited for Matter Transformation, Matter Morph Strand, and Matter Spark Arc. Holy crap, a sparrow with guns. Yes, a combat sparrow. We've been asking for that for a while. And the emissary hates her job. I thought that was so funny. Yeah, that was from Scarlet Shadow in Twitch. And what do you think about, I mean, God, I'm all over the place. I'm trying to keep it structured here.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, because maybe don't read the comments first if you want to have a set.
Yeah.
It's up to you. I
mean, okay. I'm going to go over my notes, and you
podcast. So I don't care that much.
Yeah, I understand. We're going to talk about this definitely more on Thursday on our live show, but
okay. Since you brought it up, obviously
the 9 were made of dark matter. Okay, so we answered that question, but there's a new character called Lodi, and he's far from home, is all they say. But here's the thing that caught my eye is the new, like Scarlet Shadow said, the new matter transformation, the matter morph, and the matter spark. Is this a new dark matter? Is this a new dark subclass, you think? Or is this just like a
no, you didn't say it was a subclass. No. Yeah. I was watching it very closely. It's just an ability that I don't even think you need to be on a darkness subclass, because again, This is
Right.
dark matter, not darkness. She said those are two different things.
Right. Okay.
So how you get this ability, it's not tied to your subclass,
set.
and you pick up those little things around. Like it looked like a little thing on the ground you could interact with.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have those abilities to transform you into that little rolling ball, so you can go through
Right.
tight spaces or whatever, or
Gonna be
do
a lot
the
of-
other ones.
A lot of
So-
puzzle stuff. We're gonna have to probably use that. Yeah. And
yeah,
this is
and
manipulation
what's
too.
more,
Yeah.
what's more is it looks like they were implying that it's only going to be in this new location. You
Yeah.
can use those new abilities.
It'll be just like
So not in the old locations.
yeah, it'll be just like the new world where Final Shape was. It'll be the same thing where a lot of these extra stuff that are around the map that you can only do on the Pale Heart, stuff like that. So
Well, but you could use those abilities outside of that planet. But this is I think we're only going to be able to use these on the new location.
but they said
That's what it's.
they said something, and I wrote it down. It says they have new abilities, and I'm thinking, are they going to add more prismatic fragments and aspects? I'm just curious what that
Maybe,
means.
but
by
that's
new
not what they
abilities.
talked about today at all. These are the new abilities. They called these abilities.
Okay.
But remember, abilities don't mean a whole subclass or a whole fragment, or abilities just means anything. Even a grenade is an ability.
Sure.
But these are new abilities that you can just pick up out and about, and then they give you an offensive power and then something you can do, like either go through tight spaces or create a puzzle or whatever.
Yeah. And they had a new world they mentioned called Kepler, and I guess those lore nerds out there already know about Kepler. It's new to me. I don't read enough lore to know that, but I guess it's older than the Traveler. It's older than this dark matter. All this around the emissary and stuff is older than the Traveler. That was kind of cool. That it preceded the Traveler. That was kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else. I got like 10 post-it notes here, trying to sort it out. Is anything you want to mention?
Since you brought up, you didn't give much to talk about. You were bringing up the new thing. It was called the
Matter Spark,
Griffin, the combat vehicle, the Griffin.
Griffin, yes.
Yeah, that will be interesting. It's funny because like those two quality of life things at the end, to me, are more interesting than all the other stuff they showed, because I still don't know why we're going to want to be doing these activities over and over. But boy, that combat vehicle looks a lot of fun. The shooting range, obviously, because streamers needed that, so obviously they're kind of appealing to the streamers and stuff. But we'll use it too, of course.
I mean, the great thing about and I got to talk about the target range, because that's something we've been wanting a long time as well. Not the spinning plates, on the Witch Queen's world, but it's you have scores, you got scoreboards, so you can actually compete with your friends if you want to. I thought that was kind of cool. But the main thing is you put a build together, and we're not even getting into Armor 3.0 and the guns and stuff. You can put these builds together and say, okay, well, let's see how much actual difference it's going to be against a yellow bar enemy, like a yellow bar cabal. So I thought that was really cool that you could actually pick your enemies too. Like when all the servitors appeared, I was like, oh, this is going to be so much fun. This will be a side game in itself. I swear to God. And if you want to practice and see how your guns, fire, and see where your recoil is, and see if that counterbalance mod is actually going to make the gun pull, or is it actually going to fire straight up and down, this will be an awesome place. I'll be in here a lot, fine tuning my weapons when I'm in playing Crucible. So, and here's another thing I wanted to mention. The portal system. Maximo mentioned this in the this week's question of the week. By the way, if you haven't answered that yet, feel free to go there to our question of the week for this, because we're going to share our results on our show Thursday. But what you were wanting or hoping for from this reveal, and that is the fact that you can play Crucible only. And I'm looking at my buddy Warcry, because he doesn't play any PvE; he plays just Crucible. You can fully power grind and do everything that everyone can do in PvE in Crucible, which is good.
Okay, hold on.
And they even say you can play your way. You can play however way you want to play the game. That is awesome.
So that's my main question that I'm confused about, and they seem inconsistent, because they're making it sound like maybe power will matter again, but then they were making it sound like it mattered this last year, and it didn't.
Yeah.
You remember they bring when you're in a team, they bring you up to the power level of everyone else. So are they saying that they're going to remove that this year going forward, and power is going to matter again? I'm just not sure, because if they're not doing that, then what's the big deal of powering up in this new Crucible thing, because power doesn't matter anyways, because you can just join and then you'll be within 5 power of everyone else. So that's what I need more clarification on is, will they be having more matter again? Because it hasn't.
Someone's got to be a high power to bring everybody up. Think of it that way. So
yeah,
someone's got to be high power. Someone's got to grind out the power.
Yeah, and there always is someone, as we've seen from this last year, playing with people. So even the old system, that was not an issue.
Right.
I'm just trying to figure out more. I'm not trying to fight against that point, but it seems right now inconsistent to me, because they were making it sound matter this last year, and it definitely didn't matter.
Yeah.
Are they going to make power matter going forward? And then also, what other than shaders, why are these tiers of weapons going to be something that we're seeking after? Like, do we know how much better they're going to be, or what they're going to add to like a tier 5 weapon? Like, why would I want to grind that other than just shaders? I'm trying to. Do they say much about what a tier 5 weapon's going to be better or anything?
Oh my god, dude, you didn't see it? Tier 5 weapons had double columns and triple rows. They had triple ability or mods.
So I saw that, but they didn't say that specifically. So are you saying that for sure the lower tiers won't have that many?
I think it'll be a lot like Destiny 1, where the more kills you get with a gun, the more it upgrades. And as you upgrade the gun, it unlocks more and more and more.
Okay, so it'll add.
First thing I'll be doing.
So it'll add the perks on the gun.
I think so.
That makes sense.
Well, this is perfect, because as you use the gun more, you get more benefits from the gun. I mean, it's I guess it's a compromise to weapon crafting, but weapon crafting, you still can choose whatever you want. You can custom tailor what you want to use in each of those rows, where with this, it's kind of pre-selected. So I don't know if it's still better than weapon crafting, but I really like what I saw with the weapon tiers, the tier 5 weapons. That is something I'll be grinding. You know me, man.
Okay, I will like to hear from them more details, because you're right. I guess it's assumed that the higher tier is maybe the only one that'll have that many rows, but then hopefully they'll still have 2 rows even on a tier 1, because we already had that in the past.
Well,
so
2
hopefully
rows,
they don't
2 singular rows like normal weapon. But I think if you maybe you go to level 3, then now you have double columns. Now you have 2 rows with double perks. You know, like a lot of the special guns that drop, like the adept weapons and stuff.
Yeah.
Then if you go to tier 5, which we don't know what we got to do to get to that point, then it unlocks that 3rd row, that 3rd column of extra perks. And granted, I think it's still less selectability than weapon crafting. I really wish they kept weapon crafting, but I like that though. The fact that you can make the gun your gun. And then they talked about the treatments, the special skins, and the special ocean waves. Like I
know that.
They're really going all out on cosmetics, and I like that.
Yeah, mark my word, there'll be more to buy too. That there'll be a lot of free ones, but there'll be a lot of ones to buy too. So interesting, real quick on the. So, see, for me, I would rather just get more RNG drops of a weapon that have the perks, rather than like build up my weapon.
No, I'm the opposite.
That might add a 3rd row that I might like. You know what I mean? I feel like that'd be so much work. I would rather just get another drop.
That's true.
And then take my chances.
I have a feeling that the weapon that you're upgrading, I think, will have fixed perks. I don't think it'll be. I don't think it'll be random. I think as you unlock perks, you'll just.
Hopefully, you can see them ahead of time, even if you can't unlock them.
True.
Tier 5, because
and the
if they're being sneaky, if you can't see them ahead of time, because then they're going to want you to upgrade it, and then you're like, oh, that wasn't a good perk. That was a wasted. Using the weapon.
I hate that. I mean, I upgraded one of my Pale Heart. No, actually, Witch Queen fusion rifles, and it doesn't have really any good PvP perks on it. So I was kind of disappointed once I unlocked it, where I could craft everything on it. But if you go and craft a weapon, it will show you all the perks that you can unlock on it. So, there again.
Yeah, but we're not talking about crafting now. But
I still love crafting so much better. But anything else? What else would we need to talk about here? We mentioned Ikora's finally Ikora's back in the storyline. Thank God, I missed her. She's going to be probably the key player on this new world, Kepler.
I noticed, and I already kind of knew this was happening. I'm glad they added. I'll say the positive, and then I'll say the negative for me. But I'm glad they at least added some new enemy subtypes. Now, I knew there wasn't going to be a whole new enemy race, All we're really getting is I saw a new Vex subtype and I saw a new Fallen subtype. So that's cool. The Fallen, that was the guy like flying around, jetpack looking almost like Mando. And then on the Vex, they had these, they looked like Exploder Shank, but they were a little bit different.
Like smaller.
Yeah, so a lot of and you know, this is how they can keep development up. A lot of reused assets with enemies and lands. Like a lot of the things they showed us, you could tell they look similar yet unique. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of reused assets and
It
stuff.
has a new smell. It has a new smell to it. You know,
yeah, but a lot of
like
reused assets.
got that new car smell, but you know, it still has a lot of things that you're familiar with, which I think that's fine.
Yep.
Yeah. As long as
I'd rather have new stuff. Yeah.
I know, but here's the thing, and I know when she said this about the Kepler world, I thought of you right away. She said it's going to be like Dreaming City, where it's going to be all kinds of mysterious stuff that you just happen upon. That I'm as much as I say that I'm a Crucible player and things like that, I still love discovering stuff on Dreaming City. I thought that was the most fun world, you know, in a long time. So I know that's something you're really looking forward to, is the fact that it's not.
Well, yeah, and that was a whole new world when it came out.
Yeah.
Yet you didn't discover everything on the Nether yet.
Yeah,
there's still secret.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I think it's a little less interesting when it's assets that look of something we've seen before. As what I was trying to say on that.
Yeah, I got you.
I am excited about the different tiers. If I'm not excited within the repeatable activities, because I feel like we've already had that. They're just expanding it a little bit more.
Right.
But if you can do different world tiers out on patrol, I will be really happy. Yeah. That's what I'm looking for.
That'll be fun.
They didn't specifically say, but I think they were hinting to that. So I really hope that's coming, because I don't want a patrol area that's just boring and easy all the time.
Yeah.
And they kind of were trying to do that with Lightfall, but it didn't really work, you know, on that new planet. Yeah. Especially because there weren't multiple levels you could pick. You know what I mean? It was just kind of weird. So that's exciting if they do that.
Mm-hmm. Collecting my Post-it notes one by one here.
Okay, so the portal thing seems good and bad to me. I think it's overall a good, especially for new players. Mm-hmm. It's a little more boring looking, just like a square here, a square there, versus like seeing all the planets and going stuff. But it will be a lot easier to find stuff, because right now people have to click into all these locations and planets and stuff to get to stuff, right? It's always the question like, no, where is that? Even for us, even you do that. Where's that raid again? Which planet is that on?
Yeah, I hate that.
You know?
Yeah.
I actually kind of like it. I think it's more visually pleasing having a big director, but I get
feel like
it.
you're going somewhere. I get that too. Yeah, no, they mentioned House of Exile, which means Aramis is going to be back. So.
Okay, I just want to say a couple more things on this real quick. It's just more visually pleasing to me going to different planets and seeing things, like even in the director.
Right.
The new portal thing, I think it's a plus. I'm not just thinking about myself. I think it'll be better for the mass community, but I'll just be a little bored seeing what those portal screens looked like. It was just here's a square, pick that, boring. You know?
I got it pulled up here where they're going through it. Yeah, I kind of like the minimalist look. It makes a very simple layout, and say, I love the Crucible ops, man. That's going to be really cool to be able to jump in that.
Yeah, I definitely don't like this look, but I think it's a good idea. I can have a nuanced opinion like that. And then I don't think I have too much. Let me see my notes real quick. I talked about the power thing. Seems confusing to me. I want to know if power will matter or not, because it hasn't been mattering.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff we already knew about. When they were telling us about armor stuff, we already kind of knew about that, but they recapped it again today.
Right.
Oh, of course, everyone's going to be speculating, but there's no way unless they do a shadow drop. So that second one where we're going to Plague Lands, Ash and Iron.
Yes, right.
Or is that the first one? I forget.
I think they said Plague Lands was coming back in Renegades, I think. Didn't they say that? Or was it?
Okay.
Yeah, that was in Renegades.
Yeah. Everyone's going to be like, oh, does that mean Wrath of the Machine raid? Well, I sure hope so, but I don't think so, because they said only one raid for the year. So unless they did a shadow drop and totally surprised us, which would be the most amazing thing ever, I hope they do that. But not counting on it. But as we know, Plague Lands is A, where the raid is, and B, that was always the excuse why they couldn't remake that raid, because of play legs and Siva stuff and just having to fix up all the assets. And maybe I'm hoping against hope, but maybe they found a way to get the raid back in.
Well,
because people will sure love Wrath of the Machine if that can come back.
For all of you that hate jumping into strikes and everyone runs ahead and kills everything so you can't get your bounties done, you can now solo any strike, any level, which I was very happy because I would play more strikes if I didn't have to, you know, fly in with 2 other randoms who have different objectives than I myself. And that got me excited. I know that's very boring, but I have waited a long time where I can actually solo ops into my own raid, into my own strikes, because I actually enjoy doing strikes. It's just the way it's set up I do not enjoy. I want to be able to pace myself through it, get bounties done, you know, whatever it's calling for to do. But that was news to my ears when I saw that. We
kind of speculated and hoped and guessed that would come at some point, because like, why not? That's an easy thing to do. So that made sense. I think they were just finally working on that.
They'd mentioned
remember the bounties are kind of being deprecated, but it doesn't matter. They're just going to be a different name.
It's just going to be a mission, like this seasonal hub. It's just going to be right here. These are your basically your bounties are just laid out into a quest line.
Exactly, and you don't have to pick them up, which is nice. Because if you forget, or you have to, either have to do it through the app or fly to location. Just seems like work to me. I like the fact that they're just there and you don't have to pick them up.
No expiration dates. You don't have to worry about stuff deprecating.
No, they still do. They have dailies and weeklies. They said.
Oh,
there's still expirations on them.
All right. They did mention 50 new modifiers plus the old ones that we already have. So I'm excited to see what those. When they said they were talking about this. They were talking about they have 50 new modifiers for all of this, which that gets me excited. I'm curious to see what that's going to be about. Let's see. Armor 3.0. I mean,
yeah, they kind of. We already had a blog article on that. I don't think they said anything new today that we already didn't know, but it still doesn't mean we shouldn't talk about it.
Yeah, and we're
they kind of recap the stats, which they told us about in the past, and
yeah,
go ahead.
I'm just going to say they mentioned. They mentioned it was going to be a very long TWAB this week, so we'll probably be repeating ourselves here. But yeah, they're looking at the Armor 3.0 here. I'm trying to see where they were talking about. This is where
the main new thing that they added was just the new thing, anyways, of the tier system, because we didn't know about the tier system yet, which will work for weapons and armor.
That's
so that is good.
Here's the tier system for weapons. Look at this double columns with triple perks. And granted, I'm not going to use high ground on this weapon. Maybe Adagio, definitely multi-kill clip if I'm playing Crucible, but say you like this gun for PvP because it has enhanced mobility here, or rewind rounds for like raids and stuff, but then you can get shoot to loot here for when you're playing harder content where you can't get to the ammo. You can just shoot an orb to pick an orb up. I mean, this is a very multi-useful weapon here. So, and of course they said once you hit tier 5, you get a special shader application for it as well. So that's exciting, man. I'm probably the thing that I'm looking most forward to is the upgradable weapons, the tier 5 weapons and armor. That's really gets me really excited off the bat.
Is if there's if like the solo ops and then the actual campaign stuff, if it's, you know, fun ways to replay it again that can be variable,
right?
You know what I mean? That can switch up, not just harder, but like it'd be cool if they I don't know, like a different goal each time you go into it, or God forbid different hallways you have to go versus the first time or whatever. That would be really fun if they have stuff like that, because I want like reasons to rerun activities other than just you know, a million weapons, which you already have a million good weapons. But
we do. But now the weapons are going to be totally different. I mean, it's probably going to, I don't know. They said next on Renegades, the DLC on Renegades, they're going to be fixing the vault problem. So I'm curious what that's going to be as well. They're of course not going to mention that now, but I can tell you right now, I don't know where we're putting all this stuff. I guess right away, all of our gear, I'll just dismantle it and get with the new 3.0 stuff and start building it up. But
And probably even weapons too, because
exactly.
again, and this was always kind of my argument, like, why do
Yeah.
we care about the old ones if the new ones are going to have more possibilities for perks
they
and
don't-
rolls and everything?
They don't have to worry about
You know?
sunsetting weapons. They just make the weapons better. So
I
yeah.
know this is
Yeah.
kind of a funny way to.
Ooh.
Well, that's what I always was kind of thinking in the back of my mind, anyways. Like I was always personally sunsetting weapons without officially sunsetting them because I'm like,
Oh
if
my
there's a
God.
new weapon that has good perks, like why would I want to use the old one?
I'm afraid Bungie's going to get more of my money again. Sir Gooch says, "Did you see the Kylo Ren General Grievous Darth Vader sets that you can instantly unlock with pre-order? Holy crap, dude! I'm living my childhood fantasy right now because
Do we have the pricing? Let's go to the page and see.
Yeah, why don't
They
you go
didn't
ahead,
announce it on the stream.
go ahead and pull that up.
I wonder if they're announcing it here yet.
I'll pull it up and see. They said
Or
it's
if it's on
available. They said it's
Steam.
available right now. I'm looking at Bungie.net.
Sure now. Okay, let's look in the links. Standard edition is $40. Okay, that's about what we were expecting. And then the let's see, the Year of Prophecy edition, which would be everything.
I'm gonna pull it up here.
That will be so for the whole year, $80 for the whole year.
It's not bad. And another thing too is they said there's no more oh yeah, Sit Daddy, I hear you, man. $100 for Ultimate Edition. Okay. Ultimate Edition, Your Prophecy, Exotic Sparrow, send it out, they give you some material, Secret Stash, Legendary Emblem. Oh, Bungie, take my money, man. Jeez Louise.
So $20 worth those extra things.
If it unlocks the General Grievous, I mean, my God, I'll be putting that on right away.
Of course, they're smart doing that, right?
That was very smart. I mean, my God, I don't know how much they paid to license this stuff, but it's going to make Bungie so much money because there's so many of us that just crave a good Star Wars theme in a game we like to play, and it's definitely there. So Sith Daddy's like, if I don't get a red lightsaber with Darth Vader, I know, I hear you. But yeah, Kylo Ren. I mean, if it's the Kylo Ren mask, I'll have to look into that. But you know me, man. I'm probably just gonna buy them. I'm just gonna buy the Ultimate Edition. I'm sure.
I mean, I probably will too, just because it's only $20 more when you look at it that way. But it's kind of funny.
There's a collector's edition, of course. I heard it was like $250 or something.
Oh yeah,
that's
that's
new.
cool there.
New wallpapers, guys. New wallpapers. All my wallpapers black right now. I'm all for my screens because I knew they were going to release these today. So I will definitely be putting these on my computer. That's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be really cool. So yeah, I mean, new raid, new dungeon. If you notice, there's no more raid keys, no more dungeon keys. It all comes included with the additions.
Well, those did anyways if you paid the full year.
Yeah,
they only didn't come if
deluxe.
you paid the standard edition.
Right, that's true. I always bought the deluxe version for $100.
And then how much was the full year last year anyways? Wasn't it
$100? It was 99, I think. I'm pretty
sure. In a way, we're getting this cheaper. So forget if people don't care about the cosmetics. You can get the full year for $80, which is actually cheaper than before. And I'm actually very impressed they're doing that because they have. I know they were chalking it up, but they've also said in the past it will be less content than what we've had in the past. So I think it's good that they actually lowered the price, $80 versus $100.
So you're getting a new Land Beyond ornament and catalyst, exotic emote
for the $100.
Yeah, exotic emote pre-order instant unlock. The Edge of Fate pre-order rewards, exotic ghost and legendary emblem instant unlocks. Renegades pre-order rewards, exotic ship and legendary emblem. That's unavailable till September though. Secret Stash, 1x exotic cosmetic, 1x exotic cipher. 2x Ascended Alloys, 3x Ascended Shards delivered with each seasonal release, and a Year of Prophecy exotic Sparrow. I'm a total Destiny shill, man. I will definitely be spending all the money because this is my only hobby during the whole year.
The 275 deluxe?
No. I don't buy.
You're not a Destiny shill then.
No. I one, it sells out like within hours. People just buy it up. But two, I'm getting so much entertainment over this whole year. It's a no-brainer for $100. I mean, you can spend $100 on a game today, and it would be, I mean, it could be a closed loop game. It could be a single player game. You pay $80 for it, and after 30 hours, you're done with it. You throw it away. You can't do anything with it unless you want to play the story over that you already played. And I don't like to watch movies over again. So this is a live service game. I mean, man, this is fun. This is more than I expected. That's all I can tell you. So, Bear Cub.
It's about what I expected. So that the main bonus is, I think they're going to get people excited, is the Star Wars stuff. Funny enough,
Renegades is just going to be so.
Yeah.
I just have a feeling it's going to have that Forsaken feel. That Renegade's going to have that Forsaken feel where it's going to be like a wasteland, and Plague Lands, and it's going to be, we're going to be searching for criminals, and we're going to have like contracts probably put on the heads of some of these crooks and these renegades. Basically, that's gonna be a lot of fun. I can't wait for that. That's just, I mean, I'm excited just for the Ride of the Nine that's coming today. So, which out right now, in fact.
Really? Are you gonna hop in some dungeons?
I'm not going to do it right now. I've got to work, but tonight I'm
No,
jump in.
But you are gonna hop into some dungeons.
Of course, and it has a solo mode where it'll actually guide you, and for the new players out there, especially, I want to see what that's about. I want to see how new player friendly it is going through the dungeons, and obviously I'll group up with some others if they want to run some. But Sit Daddy Fresh. Overall, do you think this will bring enough people back? It's going to be diminishing returns, Sith. Me and Kingsley both have noticed that with each expansion, even with Final Shape, which I think was the best expansion ever that Bungie's made, still didn't bring all the players back from Lightfall. If you remember, Lightfall had the biggest sales. I think they had like 1 million concurrent on that game, or very close to it. They set records, in fact.
And even population-wise, it was just a titch higher than Final Shape. If you look at least with just the Steam charts, and of course we can assume the same ratios around the other ones.
And you can argue that Final Shape kind of closed the loop, and then people just said, "Well, I don't really care about episodes. I'm going to go play something else." And then when the next thing comes out, my estimation is probably 80% of the player base will come back, but I think it's diminishing returns. People get tired of games, and some people have fatigue, have Destiny fatigue, and just can't get into it. They might be into another game right now. That's. I mean, I can understand that. So, but I'm thinking, thank God that what is it? Grand Theft Auto 6 was delayed a year, because this gives us plenty of time to jump into Destiny, and I don't have to worry about looking over my shoulder if I'm missing out on jumping into that game as well, because there's going to be a lot to do in that game. But I still have Baldur's Gate 3, like I mentioned. I want to play that before this rolls around. Battlefield 6 is coming out this year, supposedly. And then, of course, we got Marathon and Borderlands 4. I mean, dude, how are we going to play all these games? It's just...
I do fine, because I don't do boring stuff in Destiny, so I have plenty of time to play other games.
But like I said, we'll go over a lot of this because the TWAB's probably going to reiterate a lot of what we just saw in the reveal today.
Oh yeah,
they're probably going to go more in depth and maybe explain some of it better. So this Thursday's live show, probably the whole show will be just about the reveal. I doubt we're going to waste much time. We're just going to jump in and start talking about it. So I'm looking in comments here. Bear Cub 5619. So much Star Wars. Did y'all catch the Lucasfilm and the credits at the bottom of the title release?
Of course.
No, yeah. I didn't. Actually, I didn't go down that far.
You did?
I didn't.
Oh.
Even the Renegades
text was That's what I was saying. I was surprised. At the
Yeah.
beginning, I'm surprised they got the full license deal going, because they're different parent companies. So
Yeah, very different companies. I know. Mohafo, I went in with no expectations, so I'm fairly pleased. Yeah, I've learned to quell my expectations when I see new Bungie stuff, because let's face it, after Final Shape, it's kind of hard to top that. But I don't know about you, Kingsley. I'm excited for this next year, man. This is going to keep me busy. And what was the one thing we asked? It was one of the selections on our question of the week this week was new systems. And that is probably more exciting to me than anything, is the new systems where you can get the Armor 3.0, where you can actually go beyond 100 on armor and energy slots and things like that. And then, of course, upgrading your weapons to like a tier 5 weapon. That's going to be a lot of fun too. So for me, that's what scratches my itch, is, upgrading stuff and doing stuff like that. The the target range, probably a big highlight for me. That's going to be really cool too. I think I'm out of notes here. They did say that I paid very close attention when they started hinting around at Renegades. They said it was going to be more social mechanics. So I'm wondering what that means exactly. Are they going to have more player hubs for people to, maybe they're going to make where you can make
Yeah,
your
there's
own,
probably no way to guess or speculate at this
make your own
point.
house, make
I
your own
haven't
little
seen any-
place, your own apartment?
I haven't seen any rumors yet.
Oh.
So on that,
Oh,
so must holding that close to the
Arms Week is going to be a special event where 1 week you're going to be able to work on one type of weapon. You're going to have these new holofoil skins for this event. That's going to be pretty cool. And they didn't really say much other than that. But like I said, they showed the holofoil for the solstice, the summer activities. I'm kind of glad they're still doing the summer activities because I really look forward to that stuff. And it breaks the monotony up of every day playing Destiny. It gives you something to do for a week or two that's different. So, and it said that Renegades was going to be totally different from Edge of Fate. That got me excited as well. So that's what I had. Anything else you want to mention? Anything else? Anybody else have any questions in the chat or any comments I wanted to share here? I will definitely be grabbing my credit card and heading over to Bungie.net and pre-ordering probably the Ultimate Edition, not the Collector Edition, but yeah, I'm looking forward to all this, guys. This is
You're not a Bungie shill. Buy the collector's edition. Haha.
I hope this is the beginning of Bungie's rise and glory. Lots of potential, and I think they're going to nail that. Todd, plenty to do without overboarding us. Yeah, should be good. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm. This gives me stuff to do. Gives me purpose, progression. You know, that's why I have multiple accounts, because I love progression. I love getting that little dopamine hit when I upgrade something. So yeah. So that's it for me, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, guys. Tonight, I say tonight, today. I usually stream at night, but it was good to see everybody out. Stop by and said hello and hang out and watch the preview with us. Yep. Anything you wanted to mention, Kingsley, before we head out?
No, I better jet. I have some work things to do. A couple calls I need to make.
So. I got clients to take care of the rest of the day. So I don't normally, like I said, I don't normally stream during the day, but I had some people ask when I was gaming with them if I was going to share it and stream it. So I figured, what the hell, let's do it. So thanks for hanging out, guys.
Together. Yep.
And we'll see you guys in the Discord. Later,
Bye.
Guardians.